What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to I'm Trying Dude, the podcast with Daniel Victor and myself, Marcel Flores. Today, I'm not going to lie, we're a little bit all over the place. We're talking about a lot of different things, including what we did on Memorial Day weekend, how that ended in a little spat between Dan and I, and how we resolved that, and a few other lessons and a few other things that just needed to be vented, I think, today. And then some, C+ rated stories. So you're in for a real treat today.
Are they though?
Are they though?
Missed it. I mean, I don't know about the mouse thing.
No one cares.
What is
Are you
that?
rapping on this? Wait, you want me to?
I thought that's what we...
Hold on. No, wait.
Do better. I'm trying.
Dude! The dog is alive.
The dog is alive.
Normally when Dan sings, it sounds like a dog was recently just run over by a semi-hard dick. And,
Slowly.
and I call him out. Slowly.
Like not
Like hanging on by a thread, but it's still howling.
If a truck hits a dog, it's gonna be over pretty quickly. But if
Like
it's slowly rolling over the dog,
My God.
then you enter a realm called me singing. No, I'm a good singer. I'm a decent singer.
You're a decent
I'm
singer.
a decent singer.
You sing on some of your music too, which I forget. Like you actually do know what you're doing.
Every now and again.
Welcome back, guys.
What's up, babies?
I got options for you today. You want that Island Punch, that top 3 flavor that we know we have, which is the passion fruit orange guava. Highly recommend.
Oh, that is a gas flavor.
Or pink lemonade, which is what? Cherry, I believe it's cherry. Oh no, it's pink lemonade.
Well, yeah. I mean, as the name
No, I think
implies.
it's cherry lemon. Like I think.
So here's the thing. The Island Punch is fuego, great flavor. But seeing as we're in your house, I don't know if I could take that with a clean conscience. You know, like part
I
of
have
it's
like
like
3 times as many of those as I have of these.
oh,
so.
really perfect. Island Punch
fantastic.
it is
Fucking
excellent.
it is.
Look at us. Lovely.
Wonderful.
How has this not been a thing
Cheers.
yet? Has Spindrift not even like they haven't watched?
I think they haven't seen it.
We should just
which
start
is
chugging,
surprising.
We should just start chugging different beverages. I think we should like alternate every. That would be fun.
Fish for sponsors.
No, yeah, just like a different canned beverage every time.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, that's a hard no. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure, dude. Great idea, you fucking moron.
No, you know why I hate that? Because I've done that already, and I know what works,
Really?
and this is this.
Wait,
like,
really?
I've tried a lot of the canned shit. Like, like because when you stop drinking, right? Like when you stop drinking, you're looking for alternatives.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
a fun drink that's not booze? So you try a lot, and like I love a good kombucha, but like then you have the
huge kombucha fan.
huge kombucha.
Love the hooch.
Love it. Love any hooch,
I'm
really.
so into it.
any good looking, yummy,
God.
tasty hooch. Fermented though, right? Like which is how I prefer my hooch.
Wait, isn't all kombucha fermented?
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
But hooch also sounds like something else. Is probably definitely also a term.
I think
for a
hooch is
vagina.
definitely a term
Yeah.
for vagina.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
cool.
hoo-ha or something, right? Is it hoo-ha?
Yes. Hooray or hoo-hey. My friend, how was your Memorial Day weekend, which we did not spend together? We'll talk about that later.
Not as good as yours, man.
No?
No, I mean, it was cool.
No.
It was fine. It was fun. It was, I mean...
Wait, did you go to a vintage market and not buy a ring? Oh, that was last weekend.
That
Never
was
mind.
yeah, that was, yeah. That
But you
story
see how that
didn't-
story
yeah,
stuck
that
with
story
me?
did
It's
not.
good.
It was such a fall. I realize this too. Emiliana tells me this all the time. She's like, you got to work on your storytelling.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'll be like, and then we saw each other. And then she'll be like, was that it? That's it. That's the whole story.
I think you're good at storytelling.
Thank
but
you.
like,
I think I'm getting better at it.
I think what it is sometimes, and I suffer the same thing, is we think things are cooler than they are. Like we're too easily excited. Is my point. It's like we'll think it's a fun story because we got really hype, right?
Yes,
you know.
yes, yes.
And
Something
if
that
someone else
resonates
is
with
like,
me, yeah.
oh yeah, a pigeon ate a corn. I'm like,
Sick.
Tuesday, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
What'd you do?
Uh,
Front to back, run me through it, because I know a little bit.
Yeah, so I saw family. I mean, the majority of it was spent like chilling with family. We like cleaned our apartment a bit, but then went into Jersey. Funny enough, past your place entirely. Didn't even stop by. Didn't swing
He
by.
ditched me so hard.
Yeah, so bad. It was really
We'll
bad.
talk about it later.
Okay. Anyway,
Don't even prep them. Don't
I was
even
trying to
soften
roll
the
over.
blow.
I was trying to roll
Don't
over the
soften
speed
the
bump as
blow.
quick as possible. It's just like, all right, we're good.
Definitely not a human.
No, it was cool. My cousins were there, who I haven't seen in a bit, and they're getting. It's weird, like seeing my cousins get older. Like one is
How
about
old
to.
are they?
One is finishing college.
Sorry, I literally asked that question as you were about to say it. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I was like, sometimes Marcel, shut the fuck up.
You're fine. Dude, one of them is about to finish college, and the other is about to finish high school. And it's nuts. Because I remember holding them as babies and like making them laugh. And it's like, it's like a crazy feeling. So that was really nice. My parents decided to do this thing where they come to the area and then just not tell me until last minute, which is like my favorite thing in the world.
Right.
Because then they're like, we'd love to see you, and I'm like, I bet you would. I bet
I would love to
see you. I would have loved a day heads up. Yeah, any sort of heads up would have been great. But saw them. It was fun. My dad's been having like some knee issues, tore his ACL, so he's got to get some surgery. I think in like a week or so.
Okay.
But other than that, man, it was nice. It was also Emiliana and I's like anniversary of like meeting for the first time, so she like wanted to go and like we did a little like food, grabbed the took the doggy out. It was cute. It was nice. It was like a very chill time, but also like I don't know, for whatever reason, like seeing family is always like a little like because I don't know, it's like a little like oddly stressful, but I like it's always nice. So how was yours?
No, I have a question. So with your dad, tearing his ACL, is it does that affect you on like an emotional level?
It does. Well, like, a little bit. Because not his injury, but the way that he goes about life with the injury.
That's what I'm asking. Because I remember when my dad was alive, he tore his biceps, and like weirdly, which for one looked it looked so disfigured, but like it felt. I felt him getting older. I felt him getting weaker. I felt him like, and he was sick. He was and an alcoholic. It was tough, but like it did a lot to me. I felt like this. He's never really been a father, but at the end of the day, it's my father, and he's like. An ACL tear is obviously not something that's necessarily.
Well,
you
know what he
thing,
said.
Like,
the cool thing is that he loves basketball, dude. Like he's a baller. Like actually, like does well. Played. Well. I don't know if he played in college or maybe he did. That was crazy.
Dude, they're rough.
Jesus. He said to me before I left. He goes, "You know what? I still have my goal." And I was like, "What's your goal?" And he goes, I still want to dunk on a 10-foot rim." And I was like, okay.
Oh, he never has?
No, he never has.
Oh, shit.
And now he wants it. He's 55.
Okay.
And he's like, once I get through PT and all that stuff, he's like, I'm gonna be back on. I want to dunk on a 10-footer. Okay. And I honestly think he could do it. I think like that man is like, if anything, very driven to accomplish his like goal. So I am excited to see how that works. He's in high spirits though. Like I think the big thing for him was that he identified the problem. Yeah. For a while, I think he was walking around not understanding what the underlying cause was of this pain and discomfort and why he was constantly, losing his balance or not like his knee didn't feel right. Right. Finally went to see a specialist and they're like, okay, this is the issue. So I think having that diagnosis for him was like game changing because now he's like, okay, It's not just me getting older. It's not like, that's part of it, but it's like not like some weird thing that no one can identify. It's like, oh, I've been walking around with a torn ACL. Right. Let's go fix it and get better.
Yeah, interesting. Dude, absolutely. Anytime anybody's like I'll say like, oh, this is certain, that's certain. And they're like, oh yeah, you're getting older. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I am adding days to my life, yes. But like, don't blame this on the fucking age. Like, this is because I was a lazy piece of shit for about a year straight. Didn't move and then thought I could like just jump back in without easing into it and building the muscles back up. It's just a question of like, I wasn't doing it, now I'm doing it again. Don't put this on the age. I literally have refused to like put anything on age because I think the moment you do, you truly do start aging. Like, as kids, we fucking jump around. Like, we use all these muscles, all these tendons, all these joints constantly. Anyway, so going off a tangent, my main thing why I'm asking is because I think fathers, especially for boys, model how they deal with pain and injury a lot. And with my dad, he twisted his knee at some point. And one of the most, important is, for lack of a better word, like memories I have of my dad is literally him lying on the couch like wailing in pain. Oh, really? Like as much of a strong man as he was in many ways, like it felt like he was so like, love you, Dad. Such a little bitch. Yeah. But like you twist your knee, like he was like, oh. And I have part of that of me in him. I feel like when I'm like, oh, I have a little ouchie. Like, come take care of me now. No, I just found it interesting because I think especially in the higher age, it can definitely it can mess with a man's head. Yeah. You're getting older, like you have these injuries, and then exactly these thoughts are popping in. I was like, is this because I'm getting older? Fuck. Like, right. I love that he takes an optimistic stance, which obviously you get that from him as well.
Absolutely.
The optimistic stance, like, okay, good. Now I'm gonna make this make me get better than I even was before. That's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. My Memorial Day weekend was cool. My boy Kevin was in town, who's a stuntman, arguably the coolest friend I have. He doubles Don Cheadle. Like he was in the Avengers and like yeah, he's on like a bunch of really fucking cool shit.
That's
and, like,
crazy.
Hangs out with literally the most famous actors on the world. It's wild. But first and foremost, a lovely human being. He came to town last minute, so we spent a lot of time together. He was here for the weekend. We went and got some at my favorite pizza spot in the city. Do you know?
Which one?
Emporio.
No. Wait, yes, we went there.
Oh my god, we did.
Yeah,
we
she
did
took
go
me
there.
there. That's
Yeah,
your
I did.
favorite pizza spot in the city?
Because they do a good gluten-free pizza, and I'm gluten-free. So like for me, it's quite limited. But they make an amazing pizza. They
I was
really
about to go out. So what do you mean? What about John's on Bleecker? What about?
No.
What
But
Patsy's?
it's Italian pizza. It's not like American style.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
No, I
even
will
New
say
York
they
style
do
pizza.
the Italian shit very well.
Very fucking well.
Oh.
And we went there, and it was like, and this is something I wanted to share with you. So for one, Kevin was like, he rolls up at the spot, and I made some tuna salad for him to put on a sandwich. He's like, oh, ironically enough, I just recently started eating canned fish. I'm like, you just recently started eating canned fish? That's fucking crazy to me, but also good on you. Like an openness to try new foods that you may have disliked as a child or like for a long time. I admire in people because I'm very much the person I'm like, I know I don't like that.
Oh, really?
I like, for example, bell peppers.
You don't like bell peppers?
I don't like them. I like
Really?
them very specifically, very rare instances. And every now and then I feel inclined to like try them again. I'm like, fuck no, I hate it.
Really?
Yeah.
Of all things.
I don't know. They're weird to me. So anyway, we're at the pizza place, and I have this like. He's a little bit of a foodie, right? He makes his own restaurant. We've been talking about food a lot. Yeah. And I was just sitting there. I was looking at my pizza. I was like, as I was about to take a bite, I was like, this might be the best bite that I'll have the entire meal. Do you think about your food like consciously? Like for my first bite, very important. My last bite, very important.
Last bite's important.
Anything that happens in between for me is kind of like, eh. Like, it's just like I'm gaining sustenance. I'm finishing it. Like it's all about getting to the last bite and having that be as good as it possibly can, right?
Yeah.
But I had the thought, I was like, right now, this looked perfect. Like I had just the right amount of salami, cheese, like the texture of the pizza. I'm like, this might be my favorite bite of the entire meal that I'm about to enjoy.
The first one.
No, this was like halfway through.
Oh,
like in the middle of the thing.
All right.
And I was like, well, this is new. And then I was like, if I were to eat in a manner that would expect or at least look for which of any of the bites that I'm taking tonight is the best bite of the meal, that would make me at all times present in the moment and almost like it would turn it into like a food meditation.
Absolutely.
Because you'd be constantly looking at temperature, flavor, texture, like, and I thought that was a really cool concept. Like, instead of like, because people are like, oh, you do a food meditation once, like eat an apple. Have you heard that?
No.
Oh,
what's a food meditation?
Never mind. Okay, sorry.
No, talk me through it.
This was at FIT. I was in a class that had nothing to do with food meditation, but I think it was like literature.
All right.
Yeah, he was like, we're going to do a food meditation. Because it was about then describing the process of eating the apple. But to do that, you literally like, you close your eyes, you take the apple, and from the very first to the last bite, essentially like you close your eyes whenever you can so you don't, accidentally eat a finger, I guess. And
yeah,
you take in, the sensation of the first, and then like the chewing and the juices as they're getting pressed out of each individual cell of like the apple, and like how they mingle and how your tongue moves and how your teeth grind the apple down and like how it drips down your throat. Like it becomes a very literally sensual, like reliant on senses experience. And it's so all encompassing that if you do it right, you don't really have any space to think about anything else. So you're eating food and you're meditating, a food meditation. And it's a cool concept, but I can't really be bothered to do it because I am hungry and I need to finish this food.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's a lot about finish. I'll be in the mood. First bite, oh, fuck yeah. Last bite, okay, good. But anything in between, I need to finish this shit.
Right.
And then I had this thought, and I feel like that switched everything for me. It's like, what if in between the first and the last, there's just something in there that like could be so good that it carried, like that you'll remember that meal by just... And ever since then, I've tried to pay a lot more attention to every single bite that I'm taking, and it's slowing me down. Like I'm not fucking
like me.
Exactly. Like myself. And I thought there was an interesting observation of like mindful eating, but not so I can say I'm mindful. I think so much of my life right now is about like doing things because I actually understand them, feel them, get why they're good for me, versus placatively doing them for like somebody else's enjoyment, so I can say like, oh, look at what I did.
I'm a food meditator.
Exactly. Like it's really
Wanna go
turning
dinner? I would, but
I'm
a food meditator. I don't really do dinner like that.
I do it solo.
It's more of a
I like-
conceptual thing for me.
It's this thing Gwyneth Paltrow talks about.
That didn't land. Wasn't funny.
It's fun.
Didn't
Good
even
on
laugh.
you.
Thanks.
Good on you.
I was
I didn't laugh
You
either.
stopped immediately with Drinkerstein Drift. I was just gonna stare him down.
No, it was a fun weekend. You know, we went about town a little bit with Kev. Ate a bunch of food wherever we could, and then Monday had some people over. Not you.
Yep.
And
I was invited though. Let the record show I was invited. I did get the invite.
We'll still not get
I was
there.
part of the group chat.
Yeah, that's another fucking really weird thing. So, but both of which we'll get to in a second. Fuck me. I was grill master, right? Because we're hosting. First time at the grill.
Dude, Grillmaster's so stressful.
It
Are you
was
good at grilling?
I can be.
I feel like it's such a man skill that I just like don't. I guess so hard on the
I
grill.
guess hard.
I
guessed
don't-
well. I guessed hard. I guessed well. Everybody was happy. I'm like fucking good. So like at the very end, I had 2 patties left over. Nobody wanted another burger, and I was like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go double patty on this bitch.
Fuego.
Dude, the burger, this is like literally one of the best burgers I've had in years that I
Really?
made for myself. And I'm like, I am a man. I am wonderful. I can make things
Damn right, brother.
fucking out of the freezer, the patty, right? And a bun and a little bit of special sauce that I also did not make myself.
Oh, you didn't make special sauce?
I didn't make it, no.
Oh. Well, when I make burgers, I usually make special sauce.
That's why I love to eat yours. Protein rich, baby. Salty and creamy.
I do have to come over and cook for you at some point, though.
Yeah,
That's
that
still
has
gotta
not-
happen.
Yeah, it really
But
has.
I do make a good burger.
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like with actual meat or just
I,
with
I,
like
can,
straw?
I can do it with actual meat. Yeah, with straw. No, it's a zucchini burger. I actually shred a bunch of zucchinis and pan fry. I mean, I've seen that happen, but that's no. Actual burger.
Okay, fine.
But continue. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, that was really it. It's like food's been very prominent, but yeah, I was mad at you.
Yeah.
I was mad at you a little bit.
Scared me.
Did I?
You a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I forget at what point I was a little nervous, but I was like, oh, fuck. Like, because I knew. No, I think because you sent a text, we were like texting on the side, and then you were like, by the way, man, we got to talk about how you just left that there.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Memorial Day weekend. We had planned to like go out to the beach, invited a bunch of our closest friends, a lot of which who hadn't really met yet, wanted to make it like a big thing.
Yes.
Weather wasn't good enough. We ended up hosting at ours. Like, yo, Dan among those friends was invited with M, and we're planning for the most part to attend. Right? Like it was
fully locked in.
fully locked in. Fantastic. Wasn't even that because I know you well enough. We talk about this,
Yeah.
but then something you got to lock it in 3 times sometimes to like
True.
for it to be locked
for
in
my
so
tiny
it doesn't
tiny brain, my tiny smooth little brain.
huge dick though.
Massive. Like all the brain power is just
All the
operating at a
blood's
different
just-
level. Yeah.
Fucking down there.
Just kidding. It's tiny. It's tiny penis. Very small. Very small.
Dumb.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So on Memorial Day is Monday. Text me on Saturday. Yo, super last minute. My parents are coming to town, and I'm talking to Clara. And we're sitting there like, last minute parents coming to town. That sounds like both our parents live in Germany. It's literally a thing that we can't even fathom. That like somebody, and which you've already spoken to in this episode, like. We were like, no, he's fucking lying. Like he's like,
Is
he
that your
had
first thought was this guy's fucking lying?
dead ass because
Really?
we were like, okay, good.
Oh,
He
good.
like, how can someone last minute pop in
Yeah.
if you say we have plans? Like if you had actually in our heads, like if you had already committed to Monday,
Yeah.
and your parents were like, oh, we'd like to come to town, like, oh, that'd be great,
Sorry,
but like
can't.
we have plans, or at the very least, at that moment, you would have reached out and be like, yo, bro, my parents are trying to come to town. Cool if we like dip. Cool if we bring them. Whatever, right?
Yeah,
but like.
yeah.
None of that happened, and then you're like in the group chat upon
Yeah.
me prompting, like, "Hey guys," because there was like everybody can confirm, and they never confirmed. It's like, "Can you?" No, bro. I was like, "This motherfucker." I felt like a second choice. I felt like a backup. I felt a lot, and I knew that at the bottom of it all, we were going to be good because we're growing this friendship to be the exact type of friendship where you can have these conversations, and
Yes.
rather than having them bring us further apart bit by bit, bring us closer together because we talk it out. So I left it for a second. I texted you directly and made other plans for the week just to give him an open to be like, okay, good. On a direct line, maybe he apologizes again and like explains something. Maybe M didn't want to hang out with us, and like you put in the group chat just like an excuse that was like, amenable to everybody.
Yeah.
But nothing came, no extra sorry, and I was like, bruh. And that's when that text came where I was like, we're gonna have to talk about what just happened because that's
my heart sank. I was like, oh fuck. And I was like, oh no. Yeah, it's crazy. But I will say, and I think I told you this on the phone because I ended up calling you after.
Right.
We talked about it.
That's a really quick before we get to that point. Like I just said then on text, I was like, I don't care. Like I'd rather get it out than like let it fester and grow. I was like, just so you know, like we got to talk about it. It's all good. I love you, but felt like second choice. Felt like you didn't treat me like a best friend would, being like, just be straight up with me. Upon which you then were like, let me call you.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yes, I think at first, and it was funny. Like I was definitely nervous at first, but then I had a moment where I think I told you this on the phone where I was like, it was like I felt very grateful. Where I think had you not said anything and had you just kind of swept it under the rug and pretended it was nothing and you were never affected by it, I think that is something that could fester and become like a bigger problem in the long run, like in any sort of friendship, like that kind of So I had a moment of like, I was like, wow, I'm nervous and I have to have this conversation. And like, obviously I'm super apologetic and sorry and scared and stuff, but I'm also very grateful that I have a friend in my life who will tell me exactly what the, like drawing that boundary, being like, look, you did this made me feel like this. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I just want to let you know where I am. That was great. And I was like, okay, I'm like very happy that that's a conversation we can have.
Yeah.
It's
it's so funny to like chat through all the different types of emotion, from like fear to like my fear before sending it, like do I even make this a thing, to then being proud of myself for sending it, to then being afraid again. And that this is when I think about even like talking about this now here, I'm like, there's a voice inside of me, the part inside of me that goes, really, bro, you gotta act that upset about, like, he's just not gonna come to the thing, you're gonna have another good, you know what I mean, like that, like be a man. Like I still have that shit in me, like be a man, like you don't have to fucking bitch about this shit, like, oh, you're feeling the hurt because his parents are in town, bro. But at the end of the day, like as long as there's another part of me is like, that was not cool, I'm gonna give voice to that. And it's so fucking important. And I think why I wanted to talk about it on here is because we have talked about this a little bit more when it comes to romantic relationships, and it makes more sense, and even with like parents, and it makes more sense. But with two guy friendships, to have a dynamic where you can just speak about shit that normally gets swept under the rug and normally everybody would consider fine, like at the end of the day, friendships end over the time. Yeah. And with guy ends, like for a lot of them do, a lot of them don't, but I think a lot of it is because there's these tiny little things where I'm like, oh, we just don't see eye to eye anymore. And for many men out there, that's okay. Just be like, okay, there's a friend for this period, and that's cool. But I think when you find a different level of friendship where you're like, okay, good, not like even in a friendship, we want to grow together. Like we have the same values, we have the same goals. Like we want to keep making this work. Like you got to treat it a little bit like a relationship where you're like, you're not walking away from the hard conversations that could, if you don't have them, leave you feeling further apart than you were before, but rather choosing it, going through the fear of like on both ends to like have the conversation, be vulnerable and open with each other, to then end up closer with each other than you were before the conflict happened. So like, and I think what I find fascinating about that, both with Clara and myself, as well with you or my mom, is even if it goes sideways, which it didn't in our case, it was just like, yo, sorry, and yo, cool, right? Even if it were to get more heated and were to be a bigger conversation because you just couldn't understand why I was so upset about it, or I couldn't understand how you couldn't, like if there's war, or if there was a bigger lack of understanding, it could have turned into a bigger thing. But the biggest fights we had, I can't even call them fights, like all of them are now huge reasons why we know each other better, like why we are closer and why we just are so much more secure. Like it feels so unsafe to go there, but it's like it's like a training match. If you're going okay, no, let me try and construct a metaphor here. It's like we're boxers, okay?
Right.
I don't know if this is gonna go anywhere. I'm just trying. Okay, we're boxers. We're boxers, and we want to like every now. No, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's not.
Abandoned ship pretty quick on that one.
No, I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. It has this fighting. Like it makes no sense.
No, I will say that, like you are making a very good.
Before I started to.
Yes, like you were making great sense, and then you got into this whole boxing analogy that kind of lost me. I was excited for it, by the way, just so the record shows. But no, I agree with you. I think that having a hard conversation at first definitely uncomfortable, definitely could spiral into something. But more often than not, I think, like you said, it's just a great way to set a boundary to make sure that your feelings are not hurt again, or, you know, whatever the instance that happened that triggered this thing doesn't happen again. And it brings people closer together. Like it is almost like it's a scary thing. But doing it ultimately should lead to a better relationship with who you're talking to.
I mean, there's two things that come to mind. One, if it gets you in a downward spiral that you can't come out of, then I'd rather know that we have that then there's a disagreement in core values that like literally make us incompatible as friends or romantic partners or whatever, right? Like I'd rather find out sooner if this is a conflict that we can't resolve.
Yeah.
Right. So like even if it goes sideways, you're doing yourself a favor because eventually it probably would have turned into a thing. You can keep a lid on for now, but not if it happens another dozen times over the next decade. My God, these have a lot of gas today.
I know, right?
So that's the one thing. Like there's really only benefit. If it goes well, it goes well. If it goes badly, you'll know sooner than later. And the other thing is also like when you have these conversations to not make it exclusively your responsibility. Like you may have triggered me, right? But I am also fully aware that both Clara and I had a lot of anxiety going into this invite, like into this Memorial Day. Like it's always hard to get people out to Jersey City. It's always a little bit of a commitment. We were trying to combine a lot of new friends into a newer group for us,
Which is my number one fear.
So it literally, like, and don't think that we don't feel that,
Yeah.
right? And then anything that kind of tends to confirm that, like someone backing out the last second, or I don't know, someone leaving early, someone, I don't know, like anything that could make me feel is I'm already looking for it, like it's happening. Your parents came to town and it's just happening.
Yeah.
But I was already ready for this to happen.
It validates your concern.
Ready, exactly. Yeah. Ready with my interpretation of what this is going to mean. That means that you don't want us. You'd rather spend it with someone else, which isn't the case. But like, it's never just a placing of the blame, and that's what makes it easier for me to like approach you in the situation. I think that's very important for anybody listening and watching right now to understand. I can't just go and be like, "Yo, Dan, you fucked up." Like, I need to realize that I'm feeling all this shit, and first and foremost, my feelings are my responsibility. And when I do that, it makes it so much easier for me to approach you without a level of aggression that might make you defensive. Because if I just came at you and be like, "Yo, what the fuck do?" You'd be like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you're backing out? It's like, "Oh, dude, my parents are not." Like, it just shifts the whole energy of the conversation. That's not really conducive to resolving it. Right. Because you just said before, like, oh, you can set up boundaries and you can like try to avoid triggers. But at the end of the day, you didn't really do anything wrong. What you can do next time is maybe like shoot me a sideline. Like you learn a couple of the things, but it's not your responsibility to not trigger me because you didn't know. You didn't even know that I was triggered because this is entirely a process that's happening within me.
Right.
Right. And I think one needs to be very careful to make it someone else's responsibility to not step over my triggers. Like, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll run over it again.
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I see it in your eyes.
You get it?
But,
yeah. You sure? One more time, please.
Okay. If there's something that upsets you, in a relationship, you'd be like, "Look, babe, you know this upsets me, so you need to stop upsetting me."
Right.
That's the default, I think, that reigns in our society.
Yes.
Right? I'm saying, I am upset by something you did. I am upset, first and foremost, by something you did. I need to learn why this is so upsetting to me. What concepts or constructs I'm making in my head, like, you don't want to hang out with me. Where that's coming from, and how I can resolve that. I can then share that with you so you know, hey, I know Marcel has a thing here, but in that way, it doesn't make it your responsibility because then you didn't think the extra step because you don't know that I have a sensibility there.
Right.
You were just like, oh shit, my parents are in town.
Yes.
My parents are in town.
Yeah.
It's nothing you could help. you're always going to. So the two main takeaways from me are: one, your feelings are your feelings. Don't make them somebody else's responsibility, right? And the other thing is, fuck. Now I'm losing my thread. I'm holding on to it. Upsetting me. I'm trying to like slow it down.
Come on, land the plane.
Fuck me.
That's fine.
You say
Your first
something.
point's
It'll
great.
come back. No, there's a second one. It'll come back.
You a sports fan, dude?
No,
No.
not any sports really. Like I don't really. I watch some tennis. I don't.
You're big on tennis, right?
Huh?
You're big on tennis.
Yeah, but even that, I had a phase of watching it, and now I'm like, I don't love watching sports because I'd rather play them. You?
Yeah, I feel I'm really not the same. But the past couple, I got like a Knicks sweatshirt, like a New York Knicks sweatshirt.
Okay.
Right. And it's like huge. Like it was like in like a care package. So it was like a 2XL.
Oh, like a PR package.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, it's sick. I wore it. It's cute. It's fine. It's oversized, cozy. So I like take it out to walk the dog. I have never been chirped at more in my life than when I wear this thing. I did not realize the responsibility that comes with wearing like sports paraphernalia.
Oh,
because everyone and their mom's like, Knicks and 6, baby. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like,
go
dude,
sports.
I'm not even seriously, and it's like it's stressful. I got to the point where I was like taking my dog out, and I walk in, and they'd be like, "Absolute, right on, brother," and I'm like, "Yeah, me, yeah, dude." And I have no fucking clue. They must be doing well. I'm guessing the Knicks are doing well, but I thought it was funny. I had to bring it up because, like,
I mean, right now
I am so not into the sports game at all, and I was like, I'll just throw on this sweatshirt and wear it outside, whatever, because it's cozy. And every single time I leave the apartment with it on, someone says something. I got caught in the elevator with like this dude and like I'm assuming his girlfriend or something. And I get in there, I'm chilling, and he looks over and he's like, Knicks and 6, my man. And I was like, yeah, dude. You know it. And he goes, she's a Pacers fan. And I'm like, what? That's crazy. She's like, man, that's cap. I'm not a fucking Pacers fan. I was like, yeah, ha. That's she's probably not. Like, dude, I cannot. I'm gonna get rid of the sweatshirt. Like it sucks because it's like comfy, but I cannot. I'm like so far removed from sports that I just can't. Like there's no. I clam up whenever someone like even brings it up.
Can you not act as though you were
a huge Knicks fan?
No. No, but first of all, be like, no, actually, I'm a Nets fan. That'd be really funny. No, just be like a mute.
Oh, that's fucked.
That's so
I can't say that. No,
can't say that. We did though.
No, I should. That'd be funny if I was like, yeah. I don't know. It was just like I thought that was funny.
Dude,
I was like,
it happens to me. You wear Yankees hats. Has it never happened to you?
Yeah, but no one, dude. No one's been like Yanks. For the Yankees fucking hat.
Dude, literally.
Everyone wears a Yankees hat. No, everyone wears a Yankees hat.
But when you travel with it, all of a sudden, like if you go to like smaller towns and cities, like, I don't know, I think it was like in Maine or something, I was wearing the Yankee, like, and literally someone like joking was like, I'm not serving a Yankee. And I'm like,
huh? What?
What are you? Oh, this? That's a fashion choice.
Yeah. I just like the brand. Thanks.
I'm here for the halftime show.
Yeah, dude. Like I felt so stupid.
Yeah, but it's. Okay.
I was like, man, I'm such a poser.
It is. Right. You think about it for sure. If you think about how unifying and like sports can be, and how. And the opposite, but like how much people identify who they are, with their team, is crazy. But like at the end of the day, they look at us and be like, it is crazy how some guys identify with how they dress. Yeah. Like it's so like we really just we're picking our poison, right? But
true. Different strokes,
which I always tell.
Yeah,
I tell her like got to switch up the strokes.
Yeah. That was okay.
That's okay.
That's all right.
I wanted to laugh, and I couldn't.
Yeah, I know. I saw it in your face. You're like,
awkward.
That's fine.
That's okay.
I actually had another funny story that happened to me the past couple of days. And this actually was after. This might be after I got off the phone with you.
Super interesting detail.
Yeah. So I had done a little gardening, and I was getting ready to go to the grocery store.
That means drugs, guys.
Yeah. For those of you
for the virgins
I
out there.
might do some gardening on the episode someday. No, so I was in the grocery store, and like when I don't know if you ever gone to the grocery store after gardening, but it's like the most overwhelming.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
everything's delicious. What do you? I have so many options. It's like food meccas in front of me.
It's awesome.
I had a grocery list. I was shopping around, and even then, I was like lost, just like wandering, eyes wide, looking. I was like, all the cereals. I was like, holy fuck, crazy. This little old lady comes over, and she's tiny, like this frail old woman with a mask on. Sees me, I'm like looking at the coffee or something, and she goes, excuse me. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? Can I borrow can I use your long arms to get me some coffee from the top shelf? I was like, yeah, absolutely, of course. So I go, I get her. First of all, Folgers. She's like, I just want the 2 Folgers sticks. I'm like, how is Folgers on the top shelf of coffee?
What's Folgers?
Folgers coffee? You don't know what Folgers coffee is? Like the Folgers Crystals, instant coffee? You just put it in water and spin it around?
Sure, I know instant coffee. I don't know the brand. I did not grow up here.
Wow. Best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. No? You know that?
Nice.
You know
just
that?
came up with that? That's crazy.
No, bro,
I know.
tell me you know this.
No,
Oh,
I don't. I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
Oh, man.
Bro,
That's like the most catchy TV jingle in the world.
In America.
In America, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was dumbfounded why
catchiest?
Folgers was on top. Because I was like, that, in a bar, top shelf stuff's like good. I mean, nothing against Folgers. Yeah, Folgers has got its place in the world. But anyway, get the stuff, hand it to the lady. She's like, thank you so much. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Sounds good. Have a nice one, right? I'm still meandering around. I go in another aisle or two, and I'm looking around, and I see her again. She comes back in, or she's still shopping, and she walks by me, and she's like, oh, I don't need anything this time or whatever. So I make a joke. I'm like, oh, I was going to say, because you only get one, You only get one.
Oh, no. Did it go
She
sideways?
stops. She stops in her tracks. Looks, does like a little, puts both her arms down like a pouty kid. And is like, oh, I only get one? Fine, daddy. And leaves. Just exits. And I was like, oh. Like, what? Like, I thought that was the wildest, and I just looked around to see if anyone was hearing. No one was around. I just thought it was the funniest shit ever.
I don't believe you, I think.
I swear on my life.
New York, of
I
course
was
you.
dying laughing. I was
That's
like, I cannot
ridiculous.
believe this old chick just called me daddy. Like, it's
Wow.
so she was old, dude.
Like 80?
Oh,
70?
yeah.
Damn.
Like up there.
You didn't chase that tail?
No,
You already got enough dirt on your stick with Lily after the last episode. That's maybe sorry, Emiliana. We love you.
yeah, but I thought that was the funniest thing. I was like, I just
wild.
did not see that coming at all.
Yeah.
She was like, fine, daddy, and then left. I was like, oh my god, what?
Cute.
Yeah,
I mean, look,
anyway.
it's good to know that you still got it.
Dude, yeah, thankfully. Nice being tall, helping old ladies. It was great. It was awesome.
Grabbing what now?
Hey.
Grabbing what now? I think top shelf in a supermarket is not the same as top shelf in a bar, by the way. Top shelf is literally harder to reach. I think middle section is where it's eyeline section is
Right.
is that's the top shelf. Anything
Really?
if it's above it,
I guess
it's
that
not
makes
actually
sense.
better.
I don't know.
It's it's got to be easy to reach.
I
And
always
easy
felt
to see.
higher up was better quality, and then the Folgers thing threw me off.
See, a simple mind like yours would be
A simple mind.
You do try.
I do.
And
I
you,
do.
You do fail.
Sorry. I'm good.
He did some gardening. He didn't tell me.
I wish.
Something else we want to talk about today? We had... okay. I got something I need to get off my chest.
Oh.
So it's just weird. So, I'm making... Yeah. He's prepping the shovel.
The shovel?
You're gardening. A shovel.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, okay. You can smoke, I guess. That's fine.
Can I or don't you
of
care?
course.
This is me. We're just gonna see what happens.
Okay, we're gonna see. I mean, we're not gonna stay. We are all.
What time are we at?
40. So
Perfect.
yeah, just finish it off real quick. Okay, so we've told y'all about Othership before, and it is
Othership?
It is Othership, like them. We've told them about Othership. We went there. You
Yes.
cried. It was awesome.
Yeah. Emotional release.
And I went back with my boy Sebastian, and I just can't do the ice bath. I can't stay in at that temperature. There's I can do them. I can do them for some, but
When we first went,
Yeah.
I didn't know they went cold, colder, coldest. He just guided me to a pool, and it was the coldest one.
are they
And
coldest?
Yeah. There's like cold, or coldest.
I had no idea.
Everyone was in what I assume was the cold. And then my dumbass is there and like white knuckling in the coldest thing. I felt great
that.
though. I will say it's excruciatingly painful for me. My ankles. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm
No.
cutting your story off, but
it's
brutal. It sucks.
So this is something I didn't know. I can't last, right? I'm literally always the only one that gets out. I literally can't do it because it feels like there's these daggers in my feet.
Yeah,
right.
Same.
Like, hold up, just shut up for a second. Smoke your weed and shut the fuck up.
Go garden.
And I'm pushing, but like I'm good with discomfort. I'm good with pain. Like when I know it's for something good. And I can't do it.
Nothing.
So I was there in an event, and my boy literally like he stayed extra long. He had to get kicked out.
Of the cold plunge.
Yeah, he's there like, oh, it's great that you're enjoying it, but also move on. So couple of hot takes on the other ship coming in a second. So then I go back into the sauna because you end on hot, and they're like, hey, anybody want to share the feelings? Like people, someone said something like, oh, I'm grateful, and then people like clapping, and then this girl's like, oh yeah, it was scary,
well,
but I did.
You're glossing over shit in order to set the. After you go into the heat thing, it's like a final release. You've been cold, you go back into the
hot,
heat.
you were cold.
Yes, and then they does anyone want to? It's a moment for you to get stuff off your chest. You're sitting in there with a bunch of extra, other people. There's no music. Is there music or no?
At that point, no.
No music, and they're offering you a chance to like speak in front of the group.
Which is about like, it's a large sauna. Okay, you're right. I'll elaborate a little bit. It's a 60-person sauna. You're in there. You've done some chanting together, some singing. It gets wild in there.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we want to share anything that came up for you. And somebody said something about, yeah, really grateful. Like it was a wonderful experience. Glad I could share that with you. And everybody was like clapping. And then there's the next girl that comes up and is like, I was really scared, but like I did it, and like I'm really proud of myself. And everybody's clapping. And I was like, well, I want to talk because I want to push through this. Like I still, like as extroverted as I am, it's weird for me to talk in these situations. So I'm like, push yourself. Like you've been pushing yourself, push yourself some more. So I was like, hey, well, I just feel very present at the moment, and I just like, and I hate myself for choosing that language. I like fall into the language of like, I want to invite everybody to like to stick with the feeling the whole day, and I'm already like hearing myself. I'm like, that's not who I want to be. That's not what I want to say. Like I know my heart's in the right place, but I felt this very like I was just in the moment, and like I felt very present, and I wanted to call that out and wanted to share that with people. But I also wanted to low key. I think this is like something that I've been dealing with in the back of my mind, make up for the fact that I was just over there in the ice bath, the only one that got out of the fucking thing. I was like, okay, good. Well, I can't do that. At least let me speak up. So I say the thing, and then the dude is like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool. So how are you feeling? And I was like, oh, just really great, blissful, fucking joy. I'm like, oh my god, these are words I would never use, but in that context, like, so here's now. This is just the setup. Actually, believe it or not, this is just the setup. This is what I wanna take away. No one fucking clapped after mine.
And that fucking sucks, dude. I can't even imagine. If everyone clapped for the first two and then no one clapped for you, I'd be like, oh, I really biffed it, didn't I, guys?
And it stays with me, right? So like clearly not only what I said was shit, but like then in my head I'm like, they're like, you don't even get to speak because you didn't even last in the ice bath.
Someone mumbles, isn't that the guy that got out of the ice bath?
Oh, he feels present? No,
I just want to say, hey, how about you finish up in the ice bath?
So I've had sleepless nights over this. And I will say about this, I will say three things. Right? Number one, while I like the concept, I do think that the staff, as supportive as they are, a lot of it's a little performative, and they're not actually like, no one's actually come up to me after I didn't do the ice bath, which I've already failed at 3-4 times. Nobody's ever come to me, like talked to me about it. If anything, I've gotten talked down to, where it's
really?
Like, yeah. Whereas my buddy was like, oh, the guy who was, Sebastian, who was staying in longer, she was like, oh yeah, you really seem to enjoy it. And he was like, yeah. And then she's like, oh yeah, you didn't take it so easy, huh? I'm like, bro, that's literally the same. The only person that I've seen there 4 times, the same person was her. So I'm like, don't love. And I feel like some of it's performative now. This is now tainted, obviously, by my emotions. Yeah. Because point number 2, I now found out ChatGPT, right? Like, I'm going in like, what is wrong with me? Why the fuck does it hurt so much? Why am I the only one that can't do it? And like, yes, there is a certain like type of person that can be extra sensitive to it. But at the end of the day, much like a Shakti mat, like the acupressure, like couldn't do it in the past because I'm like, this is so painful.
Really?
So painful for me.
I love Shakti, man. That's nice.
I pushed through the first 2 minutes and I fall asleep on the thing now for 45 minutes and I fucking love it. But the first 2 minutes are pure fucking hell. And I Googled the same thing, like, with ChatGPT, the same thing. It was like, after the pain, you will feel fine, so just push through.
Yeah.
And now it said the same thing about the ice bath. Like, it feels like you're dying, but after 30 seconds, which is literally right around the time where I normally go out because I feel like my feet are gonna freeze to death when it's too cold.
Sorry.
Do it.
In my head, I don't know. I thought you were going to say around 30 seconds. That's right around where I come. And I have to get out after I come.
Yep.
Anyway,
it applies to more things. Not super funny. So, had to call you. So those are 2 things. But 3, and most importantly, and I think the reason it's keeping me up.
Wait, what was point number 2?
Point number 2 was I can do it. Like literally, like, so 1, no one's telling me. 2 is push through the pain. Like, I wish someone told me all I have to do is just keep on when it literally feels like I'm about to goddamn pass out.
Yeah.
Like it is really hard on me. Like,
yeah.
So 2, if you ever struggle with ice baths, my point is push through the pain because you're literally safe medically speaking, for sure for the first minute. Like it can't be that cold.
Yeah.
And 3, I think the reason I'm sleepless about it is because I was performing. Like I got infected by the performativeness, at least how I perceived it. And I literally was like, yeah, I felt presence, but like it wasn't like if I had been real with myself in that moment, I'd be like, I should have put my hand on and be like, yo, I'm feeling really good physically, but I also feel really ashamed that I'm the only one that's over there and can't do it.
Oh,
that's
shit.
what I was really feeling.
That would have been some real shit to drop in a class.
Exactly. And
you could have tested all 3 of those points right there.
And I could have gotten an applause.
Yeah.
No, but like.
Oh, but dude, it's not about the applause.
It's not. That was the joke. You should have laughed at that one. Now it just makes it seem like I'm literally doing it for the wrong reasons. Thank you. No, obviously that's the exact point. Like to not do it to get the applause,
right?
But to literally be like, no, that's actually what I'm feeling. Like I'm fucking impressed with all of you that you can do it. Like it's weird to me that I can't, but like nonetheless, I feel amazing, and I'm glad that like even after having failed 2, 3, 4 times in front of people every time where I'm the only one getting out, I keep going back, I keep going in, I keep trying, and for that I'm proud of myself. That's what I truly felt, and that's what I should have said.
How often do you feel like you hold that back? Like, I feel like that, like, do you, I don't know, how.
When do you ever get an opportunity to, like, talk that? When does anybody ever truly ask you in a room full of strangers
just responding honestly? Like, or.
In a group setting, I think it's still, like, when I'm around a lot of strangers, I think a filter kicks in of, like, how do you present yourself well in front of this group, depending on what the group is, that I don't have by a long shot anymore when I'm talking to my friends, which used to be different. But yeah, I still, the performativeness happens still when it's in a strange setting that I feel like has a different tone than I would normally use. I feel like I need to adjust and adapt to it.
Where does that come from, you think? Is that like fear?
No, I mean,
like, do you have like a fear of like in my mind, if I was constantly catering, like, because here's the thing, I think I struggle with this as well, where if I'm in a group of people, I almost want to come off a certain way. Like, I'll try to be funny or something, or I'll try to be, instead of just, like, answering truthfully or, like, honestly with how I'm feeling.
In what setting, you said?
Any sort of set, like, public, when it's like myself and a group of people. Mm. I think I do the same thing where I will say something that I know will appeal to the crowd as opposed to maybe what I'm actually feeling.
Well, so I think for me, I'd rather be liked for someone, like, I don't, but in that moment, I'd rather be liked for someone who I'm not than be disliked for who I am. Mm. And that's just dumb. That's just straight up dumb. Because like in so many other parts of life, like I know that's what's more important. And literally in a place like that, in a place like exactly that, where you got so real and got so close to yourself that you started crying. Mm-hmm. In a place like that, there's no room for like performance, right? And I think that's why I'm a little mad at myself for having spoken up and why it haunts me and why I felt like I needed to give it a voice, at least on here, so I can let it go a little bit. Because at the end of the day, I wanted to seem in that sauna that even though I failed in the ice bath, like, look at me, I know what I'm doing, I can open up emotionally, I can speak about my emotions, and that's why you should respect me, admire me, adore me, whatever, like all these fucking wrong things about a bunch of people that I literally don't know, that I already shared like a nice connection with just by being in there. Like it's already enough, right? And if anything, like I want to model behavior that truly shows like, okay, good, you know yourself and you share yourself. Not you pushed through and you shared something. Like I'd rather be the person, or like that's what I admire, like the type in terms of value shift, right? Not performative, like, oh, look at me, but rather I want to be the person who truly is in touch with what he's feeling right now and then has the courage to say it. Not the person who is courageous enough to say something just to have said something.
I think that's freedom.
It's self-understanding, it's freedom.
I think that's like a real freedom there.
Yeah. Yeah. But like you can't be truly free. And this is I shot a little video about that on, doesn't matter. This is something that I recently learned. People tell you to love yourself, right? Because you need to learn to love yourself first before somebody else can love you.
Absolutely.
And that seems to make sense already on the surface level, right? But it never quite clicked to me. And that is because how do you love yourself? You could go about, this is who I am and I'm learning to love me, right? Or you could say, there's just love and I'm like, for anybody that is, who am I? Who is me? Like it's the not loving part, but it's the love yourself part. Who are you? Are you all the things that you think you need to do and say and be out in the world? Or is it real you that I feel like I'm discovering for myself over the last 2 years? Like the real Marcel. I need to learn to love him, but in order to love him, I need to like find him. Versus I loved the version of who I was just fine. I was hustling and I felt like that was in line with like who I thought I wanted to be, what I needed to do in life, what needed to be important. Like I loved that version of myself. I was hustling, I was getting up early and so other people could love me for that. Yeah. But the problem is that wasn't me. Like I was loved and I was loved by myself, I was loved by others, but that wasn't me. So I think the core of that phrase doesn't start with the love part. It goes with unconditional love for any fucking thing and being, right? But then learning how to actually be yourself. And that's, yes, freedom when you get there, but like you need to know who you are to then let that you be free. Do you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Like it's hard to truly be free if you don't know what you would do if you were fully free. How do you use a day when you don't have to work, when you don't have to do anything? What do you truly do? Maybe
I think that kicks back into the topic of boredom that we talked about. Like when you do sit in that stillness and allow yourself to like really drill down deep, I think that those kind of questions get answered. Or like you have a clear understanding of what that means or who you are.
I think something I would love to maybe talk about next week, at least in part, is kind of tying a few topics together that we've talked about in the past, which is setting goals, going for them, achieving them, and staying motivated and staying active. Then the whole boredom, letting yourself be bored, and stillness, because I think an important distinction that I'd like to talk about more is as you grow towards your goals, you need to grow your ability to be with yourself, to be aware, to be still, to truly do the things that you love. I think you need to build both at the same time, because if you're just running for success, you're training yourself to want more success, to get more of an endorphin hit, and this, and all you know is this. So even if you're then at the level that you're so successful financially, fiscally, that you can do whatever the fuck you want, you'll have to catch up so much on the side of like, who really are you? What are you doing when you're loving yourself and like you're spending the day that exact way that you want to? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, cause
yeah, it's like the whole like, you know, you get there and you're like, well, what's it all for? Like,
exactly.
what am I getting?
The rat race of it all.
It doesn't even feel good anymore. You
so
know?
I think maybe we talk next week about the rat race and how to be less of a rat and still race.
How to be less of a rat and still. That's actually kind of catchy. I was gonna make fun of it, and now I feel dumb. I feel. I'm like, well, as I was halfway through, I was like, how to be a. Oh wait, that makes a lot of sense.
That was really good.
That was good. That was insightful.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Dude, sick.
Fun episode, I think.
Any other last minute tales you got? Anything funny?
I think we're already pretty deep in.
Let's just talk for a second.
Okay.
Let's keep it running. How you think that went? What are your thoughts? That's anything you went? You fucked it. You're like, I used to love doing this.
Fun, right?
I don't know what that is. You ever do this one like the?
Can't do it. Never could.
There it is.
What's that in? I feel like I'm just reverse whistling.
Dude, what were your early jobs? Did you have like early jobs?
Yeah.
You have any like crazy early jobs?
What do you mean, like early jobs? What do you mean?
Like before you were doing all this shit? Because I feel like
Before I was doing all this shit.
like I don't really know much about you in Germany.
Wow,
like were you?
that's crazy. Do you not know about my
did you just
Subway sandwich artist phase?
Wait, what?
Wait, for real? You don't?
Subway sandwich artist?
Yeah, my first job when I was 14 was at Subway.
Oh,
You know
okay.
this.
No, I didn't know that. We're gonna talk about that, but I thought you
How
meant
do we not know
Subway
that?
sandwich
I already told you
artist,
last.
as in like
I told you
Banksy.
no.
But like
Jesus.
with
Oh, God.
sandwiches. That's why I was like, Subway sandwich artist.
All what I meant.
I was like, do you make art with sandwich pieces on the Subway?
I do not. No, and I did tell you about this.
No, you didn't.
Oh my God, you fucking goldfish. How do I know how long a foot is? I literally told you that's how I learned the imperial system.
Oh,
is
you
because
did tell me that. You did tell me that. That's your weirdest job growing up? You think Subway?
my first. What
Oh,
do you
your
mean
first job?
weirdest?
Okay.
I didn't have a lot of weird jobs.
Give me like the rundown of where you like your jobs.
Subway for like 2-3 years. Then I worked at a high-end boutique selling clothes in my hometown.
Really?
Then I was at a supermarket. I was a supermarket cashier. I worked as a dancer a bit, like in a few different ways. My very first job was technically a paper route. And then
Would you chuck them?
No,
On a bicycle?
No, I did it in Germany, man. We had to like open it up and put it in the slot.
Oh, really? You're walking house to house
yeah,
doing
it's fucking
that?
dumb.
Damn.
I hated it.
I
With
could
a
see
little
it though.
cart. Nah, it's dumb. I lived on a hill too. Like I lived at the bottom of a hill and had to walk all the way up with like the full thing.
Brutal.
And I couldn't even get the whole thing in one turn. I had to like go up, do half, go back down, get the second half, and do it again. It's fucking horrible. Never do that. Made much better money and was much more delicious at Subway. Then in the US, I was monitor for the computer lab, I overlooked that. I was a tutor. I tutored a lot of math in Germany, and that's about the extent of all my jobs, actually. Like, I don't think I've held another job in my life than the ones Is it?
Yeah, it's a good amount. It's a healthy amount.
All of them up until college. And then as of college, it was just this.
I feel like you can tell if someone hasn't worked a lot of jobs growing up, or like they didn't work in like the service industry. I think I feel like there's a clear delineation between the people who have worked in the service industry and people who have not worked in the service industry.
What's that?
I just think people who have worked in the service industry are better to people who are working currently in the service industry.
Yeah.
And I think it teaches you a work ethic.
Yeah.
When I grew up, it was like your phone was away and you're working. If your boss says something, you go out, you do it, you get it done well, and you look for the next thing. You got to be hungry. And I feel like that was a lot of service industry. It was just like grind. Be happy. And I don't know. I feel like the grind's like not.
No, people say that too. I feel like it's not like, not to call you out by any means,
Go
but it's
ahead.
not an original opinion.
Oh, no,
right?
yeah.
But
Yeah, right. Yeah. You're not doing anything really revolutionary here. Yeah, I know.
See how that's revolutionizing things? Revolving? I was ready to end this episode a minute ago.
All right. Well, here's my
Go.
last story.
Yeah,
okay,
no,
I asked you that because
listen.
I just have a little story I wanted to tell. Let's be real. Hey, you ever worked any jobs? That's crazy. Let me tell you my thing. Used to work as it was this place called Chicory's on my. It was like really close to my house. I could walk there. And I was friends with the owner's son, so we worked there all the time. And it was basically just him and I. So we did like everything: barista, cashier, would do some of the cooking, like short order stuff, like breakfast sandwiches, like a breakfasty cafe kind of place. We had a chef who was dope. Chef quit. She hired this new guy named Neil, and Neil was a fucking character. This guy looked like he was like white Shrek. Like if Shrek was just white and had like without the weird ear things. Yeah. Dude looked like Shrek.
Damn, okay.
And talked like I'm Neil, get the fuck out of my kitchen, like that kind of just funny, like cartoonish. But he would always talk about how he had like this titanium arm, like he'd be like, yeah, when I was young, I got hit by a car and my arm got all fucked up, so they had to put a titanium plate in it, right? And he would walk around and slam it on stuff just to prove a point that he had this. He was like, yeah, I can't feel shit, and he's like slamming on stuff. Damn. So funny. Now I'm in high school, whatever. So I just thought that was funny. That dude's insane.
Right.
And there was a time I think when I was he was scrubbing the like the hot, like at a breakfast spot, it's like a hot griddle or something. It's all flat, like flat top.
Yeah.
And he like got the hot oil in his eye at one point and was like screaming bloody murder. This was like, so you don't look even the slightest bit amused. I feel like you look scared.
Yeah,
in my head, I was like, man,
dude,
this is
you know
so
how the
funny.
story ends.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm just telling you like a list of shit. There's no end to this story. I think the funniest thing though is that we had a fridge.
Maybe Emiliana does have a point.
Yeah,
Maybe
she
you
does.
do
I'm
not
really
know how to-
bad at telling stories. No, dude, listen to the last thing. We have his fridge. It's got all this stuff in it, like, you know, seltzers and shit that you could buy in it to go with your meal. And Neil would always have the Yoo-hoos. Always have the Yoo-hoos. And you're supposed to like pay for them if you take them. Like we get a discount, but you know, you take them for $1 or whatever. So the owner's kid is working the thing, like the cash register, and we're about to close up. And Neil comes in after like, you know, I haven't seen him in a couple days or whatever. He comes in, starts shooting the shit, and then grabs a Yoo-hoo. Right? And he starts walking out. And Sam, who's the owner's kid, is like, dude, what are you doing? You got to pay for that. Like, come back, you got to pay for it. And as he's leaving, doesn't even turn around. He goes, I ain't paying for shit, and lets the door close. Just leaves.
Yeah, okay.
And that stuck with me. And I think it's funnier for me than it will ever be because no one was there. And it's just not a good story at the end of the day. Sometimes people tell not good stories. Can't all be winners. But
not
you know,
a bad story. I would give it like a 6.5.
I'll take a
10.
6.5.
You know, six maybe.
6? Yeah, I mean, you know, hey, Neil was a character. I just want him to be memorialized.
Nice. Okay, cool.
know?
He lives on here forever now.
Yeah. I
Not
don't
well,
know
but
what he's
I
up
mean-
to. I don't know what he's up to. That dude was a nutcase, but he was funny. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week. What?
That's crazy.
Love you, dudes.
You're like, let's just keep talking for a little bit. We'll see what happens. I have a great story. You guys are going to love it.
Tell us 10 minutes of
Fucking
nonsense.
Neil.
Oh, my God.